Podcast starts at 19 seconds.
Welcome to a new episode of Fit the Description, a Black Men's podcast where various black men come together to talk about life, society, entertainment, culture, news, and whatever else we want to talk about from various black men's perspectives. I'm your host, G, and today we got B.
Yeah.
And we'll probably have more people join in later. Now, with that being said, on your way in, make sure to subscribe or follow depending on your platform. Make sure to hit that like button. Also, check out the Clips channels over there on YouTube, Fit the Description Podcast. And we're also on Instagram, opinion_piece_network. Check us out over there. I know I need to work on that. I haven't worked on that, but I will. And yes, we also have a Patreon if you want to go there. There's nothing really on there right now, but if you're interested, go ahead and check out the Patreon. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So what's up, man?
Oh, what's up, man?
Yeah, like I said, so before we go deeper in, I just want to address something real quick.
Uh-huh.
So I want to say, first off, for everyone who's been rocking with us from the beginning, I want to thank y'all. I want to apologize because technically this is episode 101, so we're recording episode 101 before episode 100. So I want to thank y'all for sticking with us, and yeah, going forward, you will see improvements. Now, don't get me wrong. You may get the random conversations like we did before. It's going to be a lot tighter, but you'll probably, I should say, hear a lot of those more at the end of the podcast. It depends on the episode, but for the most part, we're going to try, to bring more order to this podcast, and that's the goal. Particularly when we have a bigger panel. Like I said, right now, it's only a one-on-one today. We may have more come on later, but hopefully, as we move forward, you'll recognize the improvements and you'll enjoy them. So I want to thank y'all for checking out this podcast, all the listeners. I appreciate it. And yeah, again, I apologize for being gone for so long. We apologize for being gone for so long, but we're back and we're ready to go.
So,
All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and go into the first topic. So the first topic I want to bring up is the NBA Finals and how you felt about it. And I'll just go ahead and start and just tell you my opinion on it. And the thing is that this year's NBA Finals, and like so, I'll go more deeper into it later. But it was, I'm happy with who won because if you don't know, I don't know if I ever said this on the podcast, but I think I have. But I actually lived in Oklahoma for a while, so of course I had to go with Oklahoma City Thunders. I'm happy that they won. I'm ecstatic. I'm happy for the city. So shout out to Oklahoma. Shout out to the Thunders. I still hate the name, but I love the fact that you guys out there got a ring. So I am happy about that. My only issue though is basically the presentation of the finals, but I'll get into that later. Or I should say, I'll get into that in a second, but first I want to give B a chance to say his piece and how he felt about this year's finals.
yeah, this year final was actually pretty good when it came to like the talent level for both teams. Now, I was going for Oklahoma City because I'm West Side all day. We don't deal with the East Coast nothing. So of course I had to go with Oklahoma City. But the teams for the most part was pretty similar. I think Oklahoma was just bigger, faster. Indiana definitely got a lot of heart. Um, and it sucked that was it Tyrese Halliburton? Yeah, Halliburton.
Halliburton, yeah.
Yeah, Halliburton.
Halliburton.
He went down at that last game. He went down, and you know, my heart goes out to him and his family uh and his team because that's I saw that pop. Yeah, man, I was like, that I think those are one of those injuries that is hard to recover from, if I can remember correctly. So, but I am kind of curious though to hear your presentation when you said presentation of the finals.
Yep. And
Uh,
yeah, and yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, I'll definitely get to that right now.
Mhm.
So yeah, so well, first I want to address something that you just said just now in your opening, where you talked about like yeah, I to me I would say the teams are definitely evenly matched, but they're definitely like the heavy hitters. I didn't feel like they were there. Like there wasn't really like any real big heavy hitters, you know?
Maybe that.
Yeah, that's how I really feel. But I do think this is probably one of the most evenly matched finals.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I mean, and not saying no other finals were not evenly matched, but I'm just saying with this one in particular, like the talent level and everything, like there wasn't like three stars, like like it just, you basically had like two main guys, like two stars of the team, and then the rest of it was basically a team.
Very much.
Yeah, there wasn't really a secondary star. But the reason why I said the presentation, I mean, I'll be honest, man, game two, I fell asleep on it. I mean, I'll be real with you. I didn't really pay attention to these finals. And when I say presentation, it's because it didn't feel like a finals.
Right.
It did not feel like a finals at all. And I noticed at the which I think was game seven, might be also game six. I don't remember right, but they finally started to like announce the players coming out and all that stuff. But it did not feel like a finals
Right.
at all. It felt like a regular game
Mhm.
and with a lot of support.
Right.
So like I didn't get the final spot. I didn't feel the finals energy. So I was definitely not happy with it. This one in my personal opinion, this has to be the worst finals I've ever watched. In my opinion, I think it was definitely good, but overall, I think most of it's just because of the press. It didn't feel like a finals.
I see what you're saying. Yes. Because like I said, the last 5 years, the two teams that they put up a good fight better than some other finals throughout in the last 5 years. Like
Yeah.
what was like Denver and Miami or something like that. Was that? I think that's so Miami they had Jimmy Butler back then and you
Oh
know
yeah, no, but I think that was a bubble. Or did
oh
it? Or
yeah
did it?
well like I said, even that game it was just like man. I mean, don't get about my team won. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah,
it
and
was
and I'll just say this. I think well, the Lakers back then was better constructed to win.
oh yeah, I mean, hands
I mean, that's the big
down.
thing. Like they were really. I mean, when you look at Miami compared to Lakers, I feel like Lakers had way more of a deeper team, and they were way better constructed to win.
Right, exactly. And I think so we did stuff through some of those type of battles throughout the last 5 years. So this team were perfect for a final game, but like you said, is presentation. But this has been my biggest grit with the NBA for a while is just promoting just the promotion of of younger star players. Because we're so they always talk about LeBron, the KD, the Steph Currys, and all that. Which rightfully so. I mean, they deserve that the highlight of fame. But the NBA has compared to what we was growing up. Like I tell everyone, I knew the starting five for every team
Yeah.
growing up. And I knew their star players. I knew their the second best players, and so forth, so forth. Today's NBA, not so much. You know, they just don't talk about these other teams. I remember like for instance, like when the Bucks beat the Phoenix a few years ago. They played, but you didn't hear nothing about it It's just, okay, they won. They stopped talking about it. It kind of feels like it kind of feels like it right now with Oklahoma. They won, but it's like they're forgotten about already.
Hmm. Oh,
You
real
know?
quick. Okay, no, you were right. It was Denver against Miami on 2023, which
Yeah,
yeah, Denver was definitely way
way better.
yeah. Yeah, definitely. There was definitely. I mean, well, looking at the past finals, I would say yeah, 2020 definitely. I think Lakers were better constructed. 2021 it was Phoenix and Milwaukee. That was actually a pretty good finals.
It was. It was.
Yeah, Golden State and Boston Celtics. That was a good final. That's 2022.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
Denver.
I forgot about that one already.
Yeah, I know, right? Denver and Miami was 23, but again, Denver it was way outmatched. And then Dallas versus Boston, I would say Dallas wasn't ready to win.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I would
Was pretty stacked too.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. But just Dallas, I just don't think Dallas was ready. Like Boston has already been there.
Right, right,
So they're more ready to win than they are.
right, right.
And then we will go with Oklahoma City versus the Indiana Pacers. And I would say, like I said, this is probably the best matchup since since probably Golden State and Boston.
Yeah, yeah. But like I said, at least Golden State has Steph Curry, so at least like when they won, it was talked about for a while. You know
Yeah.
how Steph Curry is now they're comparing Steph and LeBron James, talking about who had the biggest impact out of the two and so forth. You
Mm,
don't
but
hear
but I'm sticking to the finals
oh yeah, yeah.
because I want to definitely get back to the because the Tyler Hasbro because this is the point I do want to make.
Right, right. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, so this is one thing I do want to make is when you talk about Tyler Hasbro and and how he got injured.
Yeah.
All that is just another Kevin Durant situation. That's all that is. It's just another Kevin Durant situation.
Mm-hmm.
Where the team, and again, I blame the team doctors for that, where you had a team and we saw with the Kevin Durant and Golden State, we all knew he shouldn't have been on the floor, he shouldn't have been playing.
Right.
But he went out there and played and he tore his Achilles. Same thing with Hasbro. He should have never been out there. He went out and played and tore his Achilles.
Right.
And I really like that's what I do want to call it because I do absolutely blame that on the doctors.
Oh
110%.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Um, especially the team doctors if they're relying on the team doctors because I hear those those team doctors are usually more they stay loyal to the business, the company, you know, um, and they're just trying to get their players out there as much as possible.
Yeah.
That's why players always say have a second doctor, you know, because
Mm.
they'll tell you to go play, but if you go seek your own professional doctor, he'll let you know like I wouldn't do that if I was you,
Well,
you know.
well, well. I mean, this is a different situation. This is like no, it's not even that because I mean, they don't have time to do that. This is the
That's true.
finals,
Yeah.
so no, I think it's on the team. Like I said, that's on the team and the team doctors. The one thing I would say if I was to ever own an NBA team, the one thing is I want the team doctor to be my biggest enemy
Right.
because I would like to see my star player come back for another year and me like paying a NBA a star player like almost 100 if not $100 million maybe more and now I don't have for a year and a half it may not come back like he used to. Like the point of you being a doctor is to be my enemy so I can have him for the next 5 to 10 years.
Right. Right. True. I said these. I said these owners. I said they just want their player to, especially they're in the finals. I mean, they're just desperate to even have them out there. They just had that final chance. So um, it was just a tough situation in general. Like as a star player, you got to think about as the star player. that type of pressure to be out there, man. And to,
That's the thing. Because
uh,
you're right. I mean, like Kevin Durant got a lot of pressure. Tyler Hasbro got. I don't think he did get a lot of pressure, if I remember right. I don't think
not nowhere near as much as Kevin
Kevin
Durant.
Durant.
That's
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
yeah, but Kevin Durant shouldn't have been on the floor, and those doctors should have said no. And same with Tyler Hasbro. Those doctors should have said no. And yeah, you brought up a good point. When you see that, you could see his freaking calf just snap,
Yeah.
clear
Oh
as day.
man, that was brutal, man.
Mhm. It's sad. And you could tell he knew right away.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, he knew right away. And now he's going to have to get surgery. Now going to have to rehab. And what's that worth it?
Uh,
You know?
I mean, he still got the money, so.
Which
But
that's another conversation for another day, which is a topic I want to bring up one day.
yeah, if you talk about his legacy and his career, I don't think so. It was worth it because he has a solid team. It's not like his team is trash. So he definitely got another shot at going to the finals again.
Yeah. And if you look at it, a lot of those teams made it because of injuries. Because Indiana didn't run into any injuries when they were going for the finals, did they?
What was I like Cleveland? Did they play Cleveland?
I will look it up because I don't remember.
God, I know Cleveland was highly injured.
Okay, so Cleveland was injured.
Yeah, but
Let's see.
yeah. Okay, they
Uh,
did play in the Cleveland.
okay, let me see. Okay, yeah. And so because yeah, Bucks. Oh yeah, Bucks and had Damian Lillard. He was gone. Um, but still, I still feel like Bucks were still good enough to beat the Pacers. So Cleveland had injuries, right?
Yeah,
And the Knicks, no, the Knicks was just a really good game. 'Cause I watched some of that series. That was just a good back and forth.
yeah, yeah. Knicks like that. But until Carl Anthony Towns we could stop being so damn passive, then the Knicks is gonna stay where they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the Thunder beat the Grizzlies.
And Grizz. Okay, that's
Yeah. No,
yeah,
okay, no, because I could have sworn. Okay, so I gotta look back at it. But yeah, I could have sworn the Thunders ran to injuries every team that they played. I could have sworn, but I have to look it up later because I'm trying to figure this out off the top of my head.
yeah.
So, but yeah, at the end of the day, man, like I said, I do think this was a definitely good finals. It was definitely evenly matched. I will definitely there wasn't a lot of powerhouse, and the problem is the way that they set this up. I just felt like it just came out to me that the NBA just didn't give a damn.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how it felt like to me. Like they didn't care about these teams. I mean, heck, there was rumor earlier that they were going to try to make it so the Knicks will win, but I guess because they were getting so much pressure of it being fixed, it seems like they just let it play out.
Mhm.
So,
I said, and I wouldn't have been a good finals. I'm sorry, Knicks just don't got it. You
well, the
know?
thing is, so they got a big name.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. The Knicks got a name, and that would have brought in a lot of people. So that's the thing with the Knicks.
Very true.
Yeah. So because yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, this was only because I lived in Oklahoma, I was cool with it because I wanted to see Oklahoma get it. But outside of that, yeah, I mean, I wasn't really. I mean, like I said, I mean, don't get me wrong. SGA was a big heavy hitter, and then of course Tyler Hasbro. But outside of that, like you said, there wasn't really that big, huge dominant name. Like the Bucks had Giannis. Denver has Joker. Um, Clippers has however you feel about them. Dwight Howard and I mean not Dwight Howard, sorry about that.
Oh, wait,
My bad.
what?
James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. Grizzly has Morant, which rumor has it they're talking about trading him. I mean, we already know the Lakers. T-Wolves has Anthony. I forgot his last name. Yeah, Anthony Edwards. I think Rockets is the only one that didn't have really anybody. No, yeah, they didn't really have any real big stars. They had an up and comer. They didn't really have a star. And then of course you got the Warriors with Steph, which I really thought Warriors were going to at least make the. I thought the Warriors were going to make it, but yeah. But at the end of the day, the big thing is that they need to work on the presentation. But I'll let you have the last word if you have anything you want to add.
No, they do, man. It's really tied to the NBA starting to, starting to promote their youth a lot better, man.
Hmm.
You know, I think they've been relying on LeBron, KD, and Steph for so damn long, man. That you know, those three did brought in a lot of money for the NBA. They did. My God, they neglected everything like horribly. So I just think the NBA really really needs to start promoting these, especially these smart market teams with their star players, man. Because
Yeah,
they're not bad. They're actually pretty good. They
yeah.
just need some recognition, you know.
At the end of the day, yeah, I will say. Well, I mean, they don't really have anybody like really that big. Like I think he said it best on the earlier podcast. They're not gonna let a foreign guy be the face of the league. And so then who do you really got? I mean, I know they're talking about trying to make SGA, but I don't know. I don't know.
He's
I mean, I think we're gonna have to see network. Huh?
a foreign guy too. He's a foreign guy too. He's a Canadian.
Canadian, you're right.
Mhm.
So I forgot all about thank you. So yeah, yeah, that's the issue.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I mean, I just think it's tough, but like I said, we'll have to come back to this at a later time
Yeah, yeah.
because I need a little bit more time to get my thoughts together about the small market team. 'Cause I do have an opinion, but yeah, I need some time to get my thoughts together about that. But I will say that I mean at this point, I think the NBA needs to find they need to figure out the next star because they ain't got one right now. They got stars, but they ain't got their LeBron, Kobe's, and Jordans and Magic, Spurs. Um,
I say Victor Wembanyama, but no, he's a French dude.
yep,
So like
yep.
all the talent, the best talent they're literally foreign players.
Or the US ones are filled with controversy.
In those countries.
And that's the issue. But anyways, um, moving ahead, man, have you been hearing the arguments on the internet about rain culture?
Yeah,
Like, so let me start by just saying this. I'm just gonna start by just saying this is I don't watch the great players to just be great. I root for great players for them to win. Now, whether they make it or not, whether they get a ring or not, that's something different. And I'll clarify what my point as we get into the conversation. But I don't really like the conversation being had trying to put these players in the same categories as these winners, you know? Now that doesn't mean they're not great and you're not a great NBA player, you're not a superstar, but you're not at that table because at the end of the day, you're not a winner. And to me, winning does matter. Winning does matter for a player's legacy.
it's absolutely crazy to say that now the rings don't matter. Just like what you said. Look at it, man. Every team has a great player, a superstar, whatever. Okay. But there's only a few men that can stand that can stand on top of the mountain and be at certain tables. You know, it's beyond like these players that win these. They go beyond the sport themselves. You know, they they put themselves in the category to always be remembered, you know, to always be talked about, to always be in the conversation of who's the GOAT when it comes to the community and the fans, you know, and to and to try to just play that off and say, "Oh, rings don't matter," it's almost a loser talk. It's almost especially these players that never even won the ring.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah. I thought, yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I definitely get it.
no, it just like I said, the players that never won anything. It's like, bro, stop trying to stop trying to pad your stats, bro. Like, like the whole point of playing basketball wasn't for that ring and that trophy at the end, was to get was to have the keys to the city at the end of the city at the end of the season, to have that parade, and party it up and all the others to have to be the champion, the top team for that year. That's what all players strive for world recognition. So I'm trying to downplay it.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Yeah, all these players is down. Oh, while all these loser players, because like I said, the winners, minus
I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and call them losers. It's not that. Like I don't think it's losers because like a lot of these guys, like okay, I know some people. I've heard some criticism, but it's kind of like what T Mac said, where he said, if I didn't have Shaq, do you really think I wouldn't have gotten a ring? I'm like, you're right. I also think you would have got a ring with Vince Carter. I I also think he yeah. No, I just want to say I also think he could have got a ring if he had a healthy Grant Hill. I think T Mac I definitely think T Mac was great enough because like I said he is a great player. Like there's like I'm not gonna call him a loser because no, he was a great player. Like with no question, there's no conversation, you know. And the thing is that yes, no, you may have not won, and yes, you may not have the accolades of winning a ring, but you know what happens to great players when they don't win because of their circumstance? Because I don't think there's anybody out there that's blaming players for not winning because of themselves. Well, my fault, I said that wrong. I don't believe anybody's saying great players are necessarily at fault because they just didn't have a good enough team or they ran into a better team. Like I'm not gonna hold that. Like I'm not gonna hold that against McGrady. Yes, I don't think McGrady ever really had the squad he needed. He needed to win. I know some people may say Yao Ming, but Yao Ming ain't no Shaq. And I'm not trying to sit there and say Yao Ming's a bad player, but at the end of the day, though, no, you would never be able to sit at the tables with the champions that are before you. But you know what you do get to sit at? The table of a Hall of Famer. That's where you get your reward. That's basically what the Hall of Fame is for. The Hall of Fame is strictly for those great people who played amazing, and you get honored by being in the building with the greats that were before you and after you. Like you're always gonna have your reverence. Yes, you may not like. Yes, I may never put you in the category of a Kobe or a LeBron or nothing. And why is that? It's because as a champ, the as the main guy of a team, and don't get me wrong, I'll get into Kevin Durant in a set. As the main guy of the team, one thing that I expect from you for being the star of the team, the number one guy, is to pull your team to a chip. If you can't do that, then yes, you're never going to get the title of a winner. But you know what you will go down as? One of the greatest players to ever play the game. Carmelo, one of the greatest players to ever play the game. No argument. I will always say Carmelo. I mean, I'll be honest. Once, like I said, I thought Carmelo had a chance to win in Denver. Once he went to the New York Knicks, I never looked at him and his game to ever pull his team to a championship, ever. But I have no problem with saying Carmelo should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But I'm not going to put him in the top five because why? As a great player, you couldn't pull your team to a championship. It's that simple. McGrady, I like again, like even Kobe Bryant has said he's basically like me and taller and more athletic.
Right.
But could you drag your team over the finish line? No, you couldn't. So that's why you'll never be in that conversation. But you're still a Hall of Famer. You're still going to go down as one of the greatest players to ever play. That's why when they ever had build your team, I always put in McGrady. You know what? I'm gonna stop there because I want to let you say your piece, and then I'll get into the ones who did win. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, well, at least for McGrady. No, you said everything you said was right, but I think McGrady for not passing. Like I said, as good as you were, you still couldn't get out the first round in the playoffs.
Mm.
You know, and like I said, I get it. Like his earlier teams are trash, but I can't say that for the Houston Rockets that he played with. You
I don't even
know,
agree. I don't even agree with that. I
uh,
mean, so, and again, I wasn't watching basketball like that back then, but like I said, Toronto, he had Vince Carter, but again, he didn't want to be a number two, he wanted to be a number one, and he had a right to
exactly.
do that. Cool. And then Magic was just bad luck.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay, yeah,
You
I
know?
agree. It's just
Yeah.
bad luck. Yeah, but like I said, the Rockets that he had was solid players on that squad.
Yeah.
He had Yao Ming, he had Ron Artest, he had who else on that team?
Yeah. Mind you, all these at different times though, but yeah.
Yeah. But you
Wait, wait, wait,
know,
wait, wait, wait. I don't know because didn't Yao Ming get injured when Ron Artest was on that team?
yeah, I just don't remember what year it was.
Yeah.
That's
Okay. Yeah. Well, wait.
that's
Go ahead. Go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So and looking at who he the team that he was playing during that time period, during the Rockets when he played for the Rockets, he played in 2004, 2005 season. He played Dallas Mavericks. Now, not saying who's on the roster, which sucks.
Yeah.
but so he played at Dallas. Oh no. It was that. Okay, well, just for time purpose, let me go. Say this. He played the Rockets. I mean Dallas in 2005, 2004, 2005.
Mhm.
Which during that time period, I remember Dirk, Sean Marion. I don't know.
Yeah, because actually you're right before they won.
Yeah. So he played Utah in 05, 06.
Mm.
Utah again, 06, 07.
Okay. Yeah. The fact you're gonna get past Utah was crazy.
And Utah again, 07.
That's crazy. You're gonna get past Utah.
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
That's wild.
So,
That's wild.
like that. I understand Darren Williams back there was balling.
But they still didn't have a
Yeah,
good enough team to win. Like
yeah,
he should have been able to at least get past them at least once or twice.
exactly.
But anyways, I don't want to focus too much time on
Go ahead, go.
McGrady.
Yeah,
Yeah. But so that's the thing. So now I want to get into the conversation of champions
right.
and why they're not allowed at that table.
Mm-hmm.
One of the arguments I had this with James and Norris one time, and they were like, "Well, why can't GP sit at the table with these guys?" I'm like, "No, GP is a winner and he's a great player, but again, I mean, when GP won, he didn't lead his team to a champion." And again, McGrady, I mean, my fault. GP, Gary Payton, is a Hall of Famer, rightfully
Right,
so. But again, you're not the dude who like was like the face of the NBA,
right.
and that's why you're like not at that table because there were limits in your game, even though you were great at your prime.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I would never deny that. But
Right.
then the one I could really talk most about, and this is the one I wanted to get on, was KD.
Okay.
KD was the prime, it's like probably my best example
Right.
of a dude who is one of the greatest player to ever play ever in the NBA.
Correct.
But I would never give him the title of being like he'll never be in the top five.
Right.
And there's too many marks, but I won't even go that far. I'll just stick on Golden State. The big issue is, and this has always been annoying to me about KD, is that you join a team that really didn't need you.
Right.
Everybody, I hear people say, "Oh, well, he saved Golden State," and no, Golden State proved it. They did not need him. They won
Mm-hmm.
before him, and they won after
And
him.
after.
And the fact that KD joined a team not only
Mm-hmm.
that beat them, that already won,
Right.
and has proven not to need you.
Right.
And even though like people want to act like no, that team, like no, you just made it easy. Remember what me and Keith were saying? We basically said if we ever play 2K, you can't choose Golden State because it's cheating.
Yeah.
That's all you did. You just made it unfair. Yes, I know they lost.
Mm-hmm.
And of course the last loss, which is the whole entire team got injured.
You're right.
But at the end of the day, like that's not what you want to see from a great player.
Right.
I don't want to see a great player join a championship team because they were a championship team.
Right. Right.
I want a great player to lead a team to a championship.
Right.
Because no matter how you look at it, everybody looks at that team as Steph Curry's team.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't get me wrong, it's true. When KD was there, it was 1A and 1B.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. There's no question. But
Right.
I don't look at that. I never looked at that as KD's team. I look
Right.
at him. I looked at him being on a team and creating an unfair advantage.
Right.
Yes, I heard an interview about him saying, well, I made a decision about as a man and as a person. Nobody's questioning you as a man. That's not in question.
Right.
What's in question is your decision as a basketball player.
Right.
Because that decision, I'm sorry, I can't look at you as one of the greatest players.
Mm-hmm.
When you have Jordan, when you have Kobe, when you have LeBron, you can say, well, LeBron James did it with the Heat, but when he won in Cleveland, that stamped him.
Right.
And the other thing I'll give Cleveland is at least when my fault, at least when it comes to the Heat, at least the Heat had a losing record before he went there.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't a good team or was what's winning. He was trash. I think was
Mm-hmm.
it that season before he went, they only had 37 wins.
Yeah, I think the way was injured.
Yeah, Dwayne was injured most of the time. You're exactly right. So they were a trash team.
Mm-hmm.
So but this is the thing. You did the thing that as a great player you should never do, and that was join a championship team.
Right.
And that's the problem. And then if you want to go down the list, we can look at the rest of your team because again, you went on plenty of other teams that had super teams, and at no point in time have you been able to lead any of these teams to a
At all.
championship. And you had some freaking beast on there.
Especially Brooklyn. It was a Brooklyn.
Exactly. So the fact that you couldn't make it work with all these other superstars, I mean, don't get me wrong, you can say I know Lakers lost to Detroit,
Right.
but at the end of the day, you've already done this, what, at this point, two times now?
Right. But at least with the Lakers, at least you can say they went to the finals.
Exactly. You're right. You're right. They went to the final. So this is
Mm-hmm.
why I look at KD's legacy. I'm like, no, dude, you're not. You're never going to be in that top 10. You're going to go down as one of the greatest players, one of the greatest scorers. But you don't deserve because again, we looked what winners look like and how championships conduct themselves. And as a guy that's supposed to lead a team to a chip, you never done that,
Exactly.
and that's the problem.
Right. Pretty much, he never took the team on his back and pretty much won a championship.
No,
You know, like I said, LeBron did it with Cleveland.
yeah,
So, uh, uh, so I would give LeBron that.
yeah.
But
I mean,
KD
I mean, I
never
say,
did
yeah.
it.
I don't get me wrong. He
uh,
did with the Lakers too, but we don't even need to go. We'll just stay on Cleveland.
yeah.
I'm sorry. When you had a chance to be the guy, you were never the guy. Now, who knows? Maybe in Houston, he may be able to pull one out because of how the team is now, how the league is now.
Mhm.
And if he does, that's going to be great. But at the end of the day, you're still not going to go down as one of those great players.
Exactly.
My fault. You're not going to go down my fault. I take that back. I said that incorrect.
I
Totally
got you.
incorrect.
Yeah.
He is going to go down as one of the greatest players to ever play in the NBA. Absolutely no
Mhm.
question. He is going to go
Mhm.
down as one of the greatest players ever. But he's
Mhm.
never going to be at that table of like the LeBron. He's never going to be in that comparison
Exactly.
unless they're super fans. Because no, that's not
Exactly.
how it. how a champion conducts himself. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Um,
At all, man.
yeah. I mean, well, I should say that's not what I want to see from my grades.
All
I mean, it's that simple. And like I said, I don't hate Kevin Durant, this non personally, but as an NBA fan watching the game, yeah, I hated his decision.
right. Hmm.
And I hate it. So I've been wanting to talk about this forever because I'm not gonna lie, listen to Gilbert Arenas and his podcast and all these guys who never won just trying to defend like, oh well, you're ringless. Yes. I hate that crap.
Hillary, I like his show. It'd be hilarious. Gilbert, you're forced with this one.
Yeah, exactly.
He's for SHIT. Yeah.
Country versus culture. What is more important to you? The values of your country or the values of your culture? I'll let you go ahead and start off and then I'll go.
Values of the country or the values of the culture.
Country versus culture.
Um, well, just by how this country is constructed, right?
Hmm.
There's it was always a country based on division from the start. Yeah, we're not a country where like we go to Mexico. Oh well, no, I can't because there's different cultures in Mexico as well. So, but I think I think the culture is a little more important to me, just because how just because this country, that's how I pretty much treating my people. You know, uh, um, kind of there was for us to be welcome here in the beginning. So I rather keep the culture that we built, at least the good stuff, because that's something I can hold on to on the daily basis. You know, the only thing I pretty much care about when it comes to country sense is you know. We just had to be strong so we could defend off against the enemy. Pretty much, but I hope I answered this question correctly because
Hmm.
it's
Like I said, we'll expand out in a sec.
yeah.
In my personal opinion, when you look at country versus culture, I'm a little greedy when I answer this question, and I may
Mhm.
upset some people, but to me, I feel like they both go hand in hand.
Mhm.
But I do think that the country's the country's value are more important. I mean,
Mhm.
of course, I mean, yes, there is some gray in there with like the slavery stuff. But I'm just, and again, I'm not. We don't necessarily need to talk about America. I'm just talking in general.
Yeah, no, no, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but to me, I think it's very important. I think it's very important that the values of the country, at least the good values of the countries, are upheld to keep the country together. But I think the culture can work under the values of a country,
Mhm.
as long as it doesn't disrupt the laws of a country.
Mhm.
I personally believe that they can definitely coexist, but I think that you have to adhere. I think the way it has to work though, as long as as your cultural norms do not go against the laws of the country, I think they could work together.
Right.
So
I agree.
so when you say you put the culture over country,
Mhm.
um let me ask you this. This is a question.
Uh,
If you move, I don't know, let's say the city you're from, let's say you're from, I don't know, San Diego.
mhm.
You know about it. You know all about that, right? You know about the city. You've been there enough. You kind of understand the culture. You kind of get it.
Mhm.
You kind of understand it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, so if you were to move 1 million people from, I don't know, China, would
Mhm.
you say that city would be the same city?
Oh no, no. Well, if you move a million people from China to San Diego,
Yep.
so no, it would not be the same if you move a million, but also all they're just going to do is impose their culture onto us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, uh, they're going to take right over, even though we will still, I'll still have my people, right? But because a
I
large
mean,
portion of them came, they pretty much took over the city, you know,
as I would say, like,
and
will you? Like, do you really think?
mhm,
I mean, really think about it.
yeah,
If you have an entire different culture comes in, and I
mhm,
mean, we see all the time. Most culture, is a lot of them are really for self,
right,
and so they'll go ahead and take care of each other and help each other out before anybody else.
right.
So what happens when that alternative culture starts gaining more power and gaining more power and gaining more say and more sway?
Well, the people in this country already gonna be pissed, you know, which we're
But
already seeing it now with America, versus the Hispanics or the illegals in general, because it's not just them; it's people all over the world coming here. So they're coming here. They're getting all these free benefits and free houses and all this other stuff, and the American people are like, hold
yeah, and as the culture starts taking over, and as they start gaining, and as they start gaining their values,
on.
that's when the question comes in: what is more important to you? Is it your country or your culture?
But then again, if you look at the culture, it's always been like that. It's always been, you have the Caucasians, they stick to their side.
Mm,
You have the blacks that stick to their side. You have the Hispanics that stick to their side.
yeah.
So when have we ever really truly got gathered together as a country and defended it in that type of way?
Yeah, but you also got to understand that the country, like, doesn't matter what it is, there's still a culture to a country. Now,
Mm-hmm.
from my understanding, we don't always recognize it because I had this debate with, I forgot who, I think I had it with Norris, that as mainly as Americans, we don't really consider what happens outside of us, but that's a culture of that's an American like culture.
Mm-hmm.
Most Americans don't really think about until recently. They don't think about what goes on
Mm-hmm.
outside of you. Like I said, that's changed recently. But if you like I was listening to a YouTube video about like some dude from England. That's one thing he said. He said, "How the hell? Why do Americans not know goes on around them? They only think about themselves. They don't. They have no idea. They have no idea what goes on in the world."
Mm-hmm.
And but that is a very, I guess from my understanding, distinct thing that happens with America. It's like this. It's like this saying that happens where they say when America goes out and negotiates, we don't understand their country and their values, but every other country understands our values and they know how to take advantage of us.
Well, a part of why we don't care though, or don't even know, because we are across the ocean.
Yeah,
So all those countries, that's in Africa, Europe, Asia, in the Asia country, like they're all like right next to each other. They're like right next door neighbors.
yeah,
So
but
before,
even over here, we have South America, we have Mexico, we have Canada. I mean, we have country attached to us,
yeah,
and unless honestly, unless you're part of that culture, you don't know what goes on in these other countries.
yeah, well, like I said, but the thing is, until Canada, they're mind their business.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know.
That's why I said it's only in recent
Mhm.
that I've heard like Americans actually care about other people, other countries. It's only in recent times. Before that, we never really cared.
Yeah, like I said, uh, uh, um, I think the media has a play on that as well. You know.
Definitely, it goes back now. I mean, what you're seeing today is, you hear a lot of people. I mean, I know people straight up that say it themselves that they hate America. You know,
Mhm.
and so what happens when that mentality fosters and it starts to, gain power? Are you sure you're gonna be living in the same country after that, or are the values gonna change?
The value definitely changes, obviously. You starting to see all these people like, well, F America, wanted to, the people willing to sacrifice their American rights, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because in America, we're all about, guns and, having pride, standing tall over others and all this other stuff.
Which that's
People
slowly
is
going away.
people willing to give that up for nothing. Then it's like, oh, uh, 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 screw guns. We take our guns away. Okay, so you want us to lose our guns and have them have it all?
Well, it's not even that. It's that American pride is slowly starting to erode away. And then the ultimate question, with all that being said, the ultimate question is, um, if you like your country, I mean, if you hate the country, but you like all the benefits of it, and you change it up, is that country that same country anymore?
Right, repeat that question one more time. Sorry.
Once you're at a point where you have people who had a fundamental hatred of your country get in, and there's enough of them where they change the entire country's value system, rules, and laws. Do you believe that you live in the same country anymore, or is it something different?
Oh, the culture of the country definitely will be different.
Hmm.
You know,
The key
I mean,
question is it to you, would it be the same country?
no, it
No, no.
doesn't feel like the same country right now.
Yeah,
You know,
no. But
what, what,
my
what we
fault, I was
grew up,
saying.
what we grew up with,
Mhm.
don't see it no more. you
Yeah.
know, and I'm talking about just the people of the country.
So, so that's the reason of the question is that when you have so much alternative cultures, which again,
Mhm.
like I said, I believe that there's a way that it can coexist. The problem is, and don't get me wrong, in some ways it could be good, but in other ways it could be bad. The problem is that once you have an alternative culture and that mindset goes all over the place because you got too many, then you really have a really big situation where, the country that you're in, that you're from, it's no longer that, and you change into something that was never basically meant to be.
Mhm.
And so that's the ultimate question,
Uh,
you
that's
know.
exactly what we're headed to.
And
If
that's
we don't get a hold of it now, that's exactly what it's going to be.
Yeah, and that,
You
like I said, and
know,
that's the ultimate question. What's more
uh,
important to you, the values of the country or the values of your culture? So, I mean, and next, it's a tough answer, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, I'll give you my answer. Go ahead.
but if you think about, at least for us black people, right? We've been here since the beginning.
Yes.
So I think we actually found the perfect formula of keeping our culture plus being American as good. That's all we know, right? we don't know Arab, we don't know Jamaican, we don't know. We already know America, you know. So
Mm,
I think for at least for us in our case, I think we found that balance. We found that way.
I
You know.
think, I think that conversation needs what's the word? We need to look into it deeper before I have an answer for that.
Fair enough.
So that's
Yeah.
one thing I'll say.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just black and white. I do agree because I mean I'm black, so of course I'm gonna rock with my culture. But I think there's a deeper conversation to have when we're talking about a situation like that. That
Yeah.
conversation is not a black and white conversation right now.